Imagine you have a son and one day he asks if you could buy him a VR headset. And VR headsets are not that expensive anymore, so you say yes. And then you ask him, what games are you going to be playing? And you're thinking he's about to name some VR shooter games or some boxing games, you know, all the fun VR games. But then he says, oh, I'm just going to be playing some VR chat. And then you say, what the f is VR chat? And then he tells you it's like Discord but virtually. So you already know the game is going to be hella weird. But you buy him the VR anyways. Then not even a day after you bought him that VR headset, he comes up to you and asks if you could buy him a full body tracking suit. And obviously you say, no. What could you possibly need a full body tracking suit in VR for? And then your son says so he can move his feet in the video game. And you start asking him, does that give you any advantage in the game? And he says no, it just looks cool. So now he's definitely not getting the full body tracking because it does nothing. Then a few days later, you see him grab a package from the door. And after a few minutes, you randomly get a charge on your card. And you see he bought the full body tracking suit. And right when you walk into his room, you see his legs kicked up, arms around nothing, and he's laying down. And you say, son, I know you did not just spend my money on a full body tracking suit. And then this says, calm down, I'm chilling with my girlfriend. So at that point, you just snatch the VR off his head and smash that on the ground. And then he starts crying as if VR chat was really his life. And this is why if you still play VR chat and own a full body tracking suit, you are a loser.